Well, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 5 of the Oceanic Sim Racing V8 Supercar Series. My name is Scotty Fountain, and tonight we're coming to you live from the absolutely spectacular Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. Joining me in the commentary box tonight is a full team of boys, the usual boys, and first of our commentators is Clayton Brooks. How you going, Brooksy?
Yeah, good, thanks, Fonty. I'm glad to be here tonight. Looking forward to the race from Spa.
Yeah, mate, it should be good. It's such a great track, mate. Personally, one of my favourites in iRacing. Absolutely love coming to the circuit, and it really suits the V8 Supercar. So, yeah, we should be in for a good one. Second of our commentators for the night is all the way from All Star Motorsports, and that's Luke Emerton. How you going, Luke?
Good, guys. How are we tonight?
Yeah, mate, everything's good. And the third of our commentators from TD Racing, V8 development driver Josh Nowak. How you going, Josh?
Yeah, I'm good, and I'm glad to be here watching the V8s racing around this iconic track. Should be fun.
Yeah, and you yourself, you had some recent success last night in the development series race. Can you tell us a little bit about the track, mate, and sort of what it's about?
Yeah, it's a pretty fast-flowing track here in the V8. One of the big spots to watch is going through a Rouge and Radion there. You can cut the track there and lose a whole heap of time, so drivers have got to watch out for that. And also Puon is turn 12. There's a double right-hander, a left-hander, sorry, and yeah, it's pretty fast, and V8s can burn their tyres just overcooking the corner.
Yeah, well, thanks for that description, mate. And well, we were certainly given a treat last week for round 4 of the series, which was held at Road America, and Joshua Rogers took that out for the 3rd race in a row. He's won. Spectacular drive from Matt Morris. Jake Burton also did really well, and Michael Cracknell finished in 3rd. We'll just take a look at tonight's race preview. 414 metres above sea level, a 60 km/h pit lane speed limit, 6.93 kilometres long, 21 turns, and tonight we are racing around here for 25 laps. The sky is clear, air temperature is at 20 degrees, track temperature is at 35, we have a 51% humidity, 0% fog, and 10.5 kilometers an hour wind speed. Our championship points are certainly heading up, and as we can see, Joshua Rogers, he streaks in front on 892 points, with Michael Cracknell following in second on 835. Michael Hammond there in 3rd on 740, with Heath Brennan in 4th on 735. In 5th is Kurt Stenberg on 690, with Forzan Al Nabi on 631, Peter Latham on 600, Matt Jones on 584. Our very own Oceanic Sim Racing host Simon Black sitting on 575, and rounding out the top 10 is Jake Burton on 560. And Luke, have you yourself had a chance to cut any laps around this place?
Unfortunately not last night. I had a family dinner on, but we had a race dinner at home, so as everyone knows, you can't miss that when the family got back from holidays. But I was going to make mention that the teams are fairly experienced around this track, with the online Pro Series last year running a Enduro around here in the V8 Supercar. So a lot of teams will be probably looking back on a lot of data from that and be able to pull up a half-decent setup for tonight's race to give them the advantage.
Yeah, and as Josh was touching on before, you really need to look after your tyres around the circuit. We've got 25 laps. Any sort of guesses on when these boys are going to make a pit stop?
Not sure, but I know Houston in the Dev Series last night actually ran out of fuel coming onto the last section of the track. So yeah, definitely they're going to have to get their calculations right. Again, they've limited their fuel capacity again, so definitely they'll need fuel, but yeah, not sure. Probably mid-race again is a good strategy as normal.
Yeah, well, as we've seen in the previous rounds, Joshua Rogers has certainly been the class of the field. What are you guys' sort of predictions for tonight? Do you think that he'll do a repeat again of last week, or the ANZ boys, Kane Kugamea, will be close behind?
I think Kane's got a bit more pace on. Not more pace than Josh, but he's a bit closer this week on pace. No Mitchell Selleck for the ANZ guys tonight. Said Jared Philsell stepped in, but he's still a couple of seconds off the pace. He's done absolutely zero practice, so not sure what he can do. He's currently sitting in 18th position.
Yeah, okay, and Jared Philsell obviously being the Premier Series last year's champion. Very, very fast driver. I certainly have had the pleasure to be a teammate of Jared, and he's certainly helped me out in the past with getting my setups right and things like that.
Him and Bogatul actually won the Premier Series race here. Bonte, I think it was a 4-hour race they may have done. Yeah, so he obviously knows the track quite well. Just it's a matter of him getting a lap time in qualifying. He's running out of time with only a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, well, we're only got 3 minutes left in qualifying, so very long lap. 2 minutes 22 to get around this place. So yeah, not many opportunities for the boys to do many laps. If you do want to check out the live timing for this event, there is a link in the comments below on the YouTube channel which will take you to the live timing, and there's also an events log so you can see who's making passes, who's falling off the track and entering the pits and all sorts.
Yeah, I have to say, looking at that live at the moment, looks like Michael Cracknell's done a 22.478, which is only 6/100ths off Josh's time there, so it's got to be quite close there up the front if he keeps that up.
Yeah, well, it'll certainly be good to see these top boys fighting it out. Josh had a really clean race last week. He won by a considerable amount. So it'll be good to see Cracknell and Kugamea give him a run for his money this week.
Yeah, I dare say that aero package that Kane was running last week may not work as well around this quite fast-flowing circuit as it did last week at Road America.
Yes, and as we just look at the qualifying results so far, we have Joshua Rogers on 1, Michael Cracknell on 2, Kane Kugamea on 3, Ian Ford on 4, Paul Gorell on 5, Jake Blackhall on 6, Kurt Stenberg on 7, Ryan O'Sullivan on 8, Brenton Hobson on 9th, and Sean Evans rounding out the top 10. There is 2 servers for tonight, so we won't know the official qualifying results until only moments before the race. But we look to have certainly most of the top guys in this session.
I'll tell you what, just looking at that track at the moment, there's definitely plenty of marbles out there again. Track conditions look fairly worn in and rubbered up, so definitely again having to watch the offline as they did last week, and you don't want to be out in those marbles on the dirt, especially around quite a fast track, and it's going to cause havoc with the boys later on in a bit of a pack battle.
Yes, so we have 42 people signed up for this session. Depending on how many numbers we get, will depend on our race numbers. So yes, we do know that we'll have 2 splits for tonight.
Oh, Jared Filsell just did a 2:23.6, so that's put him up into 5th position at the moment.
Oh, well, that's certainly more like Jared Filsell's pace.
Ian Ford has just gone to the top of the 22.3 as well.
Ian Ford, yes, well, he is last season's winner of this series. We saw him last week finish 4th. He certainly struggled with the car towards the end of the race. It was an absolute handful to have, he said in his interview. So it'll be interesting to see if he's tuned his car up good this week. He certainly looks like he's got the pace. So good to see these boys are giving Rogers a run for his money. As we just had the qualifying session finish now. And so overall results for this qualifying session, we have Ian Ford on pole with a 2-minute 22.376, followed by Joshua Rogers in second with a 2-minute 22.413, Michael Cracknell with a 2:22.478, Kane Cougar with a 2:22.697, and Jared Filsell with a 2:23.638. So a bit of a gap there from Filsell to Cougar. So it'll be interesting to see if he can sort of hold with these boys. It's certainly a lot different running in a race as it is to qualifying.
Filsell's actually still on the lap on he. He got across the line before the checkered flag come out, and he's actually gone quickest out of anyone in the first sector.
Okay, well we'll certainly
and
go.
Rogers is behind. I know he's peeled off and gone to the pit, so he's aboard his lap. Filsell improves, but not enough to jump any positions.
Yes, so as we look at the... So he has gone a little bit faster, 0.6 of a second faster. So, yeah, that's your top 5. 6th is Paul Gorell. 7th is Jake Blackhall. 8th is Kurt Stenberg. 9th is Matt Stratford. And rounding out your top 10 is Ryan O'Sullivan.
Yeah, so it looks like those top 5 have got the pace. So of course, we're not sure what the other guys have done in the other server. But very good lap from Ian Ford, and I dare say he will have pole position. I don't think there's anyone in the other server that's going to be able to match that time.
Yeah, well, that's certainly the pace that we expect to see from Ian Ford. He's a great driver, very consistent. So, yeah, it'll be a really interesting race. These boys are gonna certainly battle it out, I think.
Yeah, it should be good fun to watch, and it'll be interesting to see whether Jared Filsell, with more laps under his belt with the race pace, maybe he could improve and possibly a podium position later on in the race. Might surprise us all.
I think we'll all see him improve throughout the race. We know the driver of his calibre, and 6 tenths off pole position. He's only done 3 timed laps, so yeah, more laps under his belt. I think we'll see him get a bit quicker.
Yeah, and I was speaking with Jared earlier, and he wasn't planning to make tonight's race. He said he didn't have enough practice, but he's obviously come in and having a run for tonight. And we do expect to see him next week at the famous Bathurst track, one in which he goes very well at. So good to see a attendance there in the front from the ANZ crew. So
yeah, Jared messaged me less than an hour ago asking me what track it was and what's the distance and everything, so he decided to have a go.
Yeah, well, great to see him out there. certainly the regulars there. Kurt Stenberg, another good qualifying position for him. He's got to be happy with 8th position. Matt Stratford in 9th and Ryan O'Sullivan in 10th. So that rounds out our qualifying. We will take a short little break and run a few little ads, and we'll be right back with you as soon as the race server goes up.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
I'm Dan Garrison, software engineer at iRacing. Since the beginning of Papyrus and through iRacing, the track has been unchanging through a session. Whatever you have at the beginning is what you have for the duration of the session and at the end. The track doesn't change. What we want to do is be able to have the track respond to what's going on, to have cars interact with the track, to have the track change in temperature, in the amount of rubber. We want marbles, and we want those to be generated by the cars, putting them where they should be and picking them up and rethrowing them off the race line. It's a physical-based model that we focus on first and foremost. The tire and the track interaction, what's really going on there. It would be easy to just quickly throw something together. Our standards are, it needs to make sense. What's really going on, even at the molecular level between the track and the tire. The way the track works essentially is we divide it up into small cells that your car interacts with. So if you're adding temperature to a certain part of the track, we can pretty accurately know exactly where that is. That gets transmitted to the server. So if I'm in a race, my data is going to the server with everybody else in the session. The server accumulates that and basically broadcasts a consistent track state to everyone, so everyone's got the same track that they're racing on. One of the big challenges was being able to implement this dynamic track with any number of clients connected and have it just work as you would expect. Have it be the same for everyone in the service who's in a session. So to kind of give a little bit of a preview of the state of things right now, I basically have run a number of laps at 5 flags with the effects exaggerated for demonstration purposes so that we can kind of immediately see what's going on with the track. Right here is basically the track at the beginning of the session. There is a little bit of rubber on there that's put programmatically. That's the starting state of this track, and it's fairly low rubber at this point. If we skip ahead to the end, I did about 30 laps, so at the very end you can kind of see all this darkened in right here. This is where I was running the car, so well, there you go. And again, this is exaggerated. A single car in 30 laps is not going to darken the track anywhere near this level. We also have the ability to see the temperature, similar to an IR camera. At the beginning of the session, it's a little bit warm down here. It's very cool up here. As we skip ahead, all of a sudden this part of the track has become very warm. This is where I was running the car. And we can also drag the little thumbnail and see the effect of time as the track cools off and returns back to its equilibrium state. Before we had fairly symmetrical tracks. Now, because the sun is shining at some angle, one side of the track might be particularly hot, and 180 degrees around the track is going to be significantly cooler because the sun isn't really pointing at that. So you're on a track where maybe you basically treated it as 2 equal halves. Now you need to adjust to that. With multiple cars over a long race, you're going to have to seek out where's the grip, where is it going, how is the track changing. It's going to require a much more intelligent approach to racing. You're going to have to be able to handle the track through the life of the race. So in addition to temperature and rubber, we're also spending a lot of time working with marbles, putting them on the track where they should be. Later in a race, you can expect there to be marbles offline, and so a pass might be a little more sketchy later in the race because you're going to have to go through part of the track that has accumulated some rubber. On the oval side, if you want to venture out into, say, the outside line and nobody's been there yet, you can expect to find marbles there. I expect that the track becoming dynamic means that during a race, temperature is going to go up significantly and the grip is going to respond negatively. You will want to be anticipating that, seeking out cooler parts of the track, taking a slightly higher line for a while, testing out, is it faster up here? I fully expect it's going to break up the field. Cars are going to be trying new things. You won't be able to just take a qualifying setup and make a tiny change and then be able to run the same laps over and over. It's going to just become a much more dynamic and unpredictable experience. As significant as this first implementation is in creating a dynamic environment, it's really kind of just sets the foundation for even bigger and better things. We'll be able to handle day-night transitions and a moving sun and clouds coming in and have the track respond to that. We can look down the road and say, well, we'll want to do rain and have water on the track and have it move and have it dry according to where the tires are and how much temperature is there and how much is the sun shining. All these things that happen in a real race, we want to model them, and we are well on our way in being able to do something like that. I think it's great as an iRacing member to see this feature come to fruition. This dynamic track is something that really has been kind of discussed for a long time, and to join the team and be able to bring it to the members, myself being one of them, is very exciting. It's going to change the face of race sessions significantly and really improve the experience.
I really need like a full screen, and I'm running a room on.
Well, g'day folks, and welcome back to the Oceanic Sim Racing V8 Supercar Series. This is round 5 and we're coming to you from the spectacular Spa race circuit. And what a race it's going to be tonight. We saw Ian Ford put a very respectable lap together in the qualifying session. Not 100% sure exactly who's on pole at this stage because of iRacing's timing system, and we'll only know that moments before the race, but we'll certainly be in for a good one. Two of the ANZ boys are right up the front there. We've got Kane Cougamere and Jared Filsell in 4th and 5th. And the car of Joshua Rogers is sitting second behind Ian Ford, and Michael Cracknell in 3rd. So boys, you ready for this race? It should be a good one.
Yeah, mate, I can't wait. Spa always delivers good race, and it's a very long track. Our second longest track now that the Nordislop's in iRacing, but always seems to produce good racing for the V8.
Yeah, it certainly does. Yeah, like you're saying, Brooksy, it really does suit the V8. So fast and flowing, coming through down the hill, and just off turn 1. Certainly is you're holding on for dear life. You make a run too bad, you cut that inside curb, and you get a slowdown very quickly. So I think we'll expect to see that happen throughout the race.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Just hopefully most of the cars get through a rouge, as it has been a popular spot in a lot of races here in any sort of car, as it sort of bunches the field up and causes some mayhem.
Yeah, as I said earlier, if you'd like to check out the live timing for tonight, there is a link in the YouTube chat channel below, which will take you straight to our live timing, and there's also an events log which gives you information about who is entering pits and who makes a pass, who falls off the track and all sorts, so check those out.
Yep, I know I've got all 3 of my monitors completely full with data and videos and everything else, so right on top of it tonight I'm nearly needing a 4th monitor the way I'm going.
Yeah, well, I certainly, once I installed the 4th monitor, I filled that very quickly as well. Certainly a handy thing to have if you're certainly looking to get into iRacing. It's an amazing thing to be a part of. So many nice people to meet in the series, and great racing, and it teaches you a lot about car setup, all sorts. So if you do want to sign up, jump onto iRacing.com and you can sign up there.
Yeah, I know I was watching some of those ad breaks during a little break there, and it made me want to jump in the car straight away and have a drive. I was so glad when I found out about iRacing. I can't remember how I stumbled across it, but glad I did a couple of years down the track.
Yeah, well, I was actually fortunate enough to get iRacing, introduced to iRacing from a good friend of mine, and Shane Van Gisbergen's actually helped us out, and as of next week we will be running a prize pool for the viewers, and every donation, there will be a link which will be posted in the YouTube there, and that will go to a donations page, which everyone who donates will go in the draw to win a signed 2016 Red Bull Racing shirt from Shane Van Gisbergen. We're going to have 2 of them up for grabs and some other prizes, so keep a watch out for next week and donate to a good cause. The cause that we're donating to is the Kids and Cars Foundation. It's a charity which is from here in New Zealand and puts unwell children in the passenger seat of race cars, gets them involved in cars, and certainly makes their dreams come true. So keep an eye out for that and donate to the good cause.
Yeah, that's great, Bonnie. Well done to you, Einstein, for organising that. Now that's awesome.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Trying to make the iRacing community a greater place, and that's why we do these broadcasts. So as we just finish our warm-up, we will get our qualifying results very soon. And so they've gone up.
I was going to say, I think I might spectate next week and not be up here so I can enter the competition.
The quality results are up now, guys.
I haven't actually got them in front of me, so if you guys...
I'll run through them real quick for you. Ian Ford off pole, followed by Josh Rogers, Mick Bracknell in third, Kane Kukamea in fourth, Jared Philsell in 5th, Jason Bentz in 6th, Michael Hammond in 7th, Paul Gorrell in 8th, 9th was Jake Blackall, and Kurt Stenberg in 10th.
And in 11th we have Matt Stratford, Ryan O'Sullivan in 12th, Brenton O'Hobson in 13th, Sean Evans in 14th, Joshua Burton in 15th, Pete Sattler in 16th, Forzan Elnabi in 17th, Craig Jones 18th, Jeff Gaunchy 19th, and Simon Black in 20th.
You got Louise Gallen in 21, Nick Fulzer in 22, Greg Sharp 23, Matt.
As the Reds rise in forwards, take off. Very clean start. Joshua Rogers, great start from him. 3 wide going into there. Who's up the inside?
Jared Philsell.
That's Jared Philsell. Great start from Philsell. He's excellent getting up the line. He's doing a great job there. Right up the backside of Joshua Rogers. In front of a nice little break there.
Jason Bentz managed to get him running team from Miami on the other simulated car. Up the inside, he's got 3 wide in the Kimmel Straight. Hey, look at me, it looks like he's got a fast car in the straights again. He was able to pull ahead of Jason Bentz a little on the straight. There's a massive train of cars behind those guys. Just right behind Hammond is Gorrell, followed by Blackwell, O'Sullivan, Stenberg, Hobson, Evans, Burton, and then another simulated car of Peter Sattler.
Yeah, well, everyone's looked to get through pretty cleanly. They're giving each other racing room, which is good to see. You're not going to win it in the first corner. So everyone's just getting into a line. This is going to be an interesting first lap.
Up the front, guys, Ian Ford got a great start and absolutely gapped them, but Josh Rogers and Philsell are right on his tail within half a lap. They got a lot of speed on these cold tyres in his opening lap.
Big moment there for Rogers.
And just behind those guys, Paul Gorrell had a big moment coming through the turn 12 corner, and this caused a massive traffic jam of 6, 7, maybe even 10 cars there.
Yeah, Gorrell's lost a couple of positions there to O'Sullivan, and Blackwell.
Oh, as there's contact, Kurt Stenberg's off and he's into the wall quite hard.
Oh wow, that's a huge hit.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Stenberg, I'm not sure.
And there's a bit of aggravation over the chat there.
Yeah, I just caught the end of that accident being on Glen's siding there, and yeah, they both wore quite hard. Both cars look drivable though, so maybe they'll get back to their faster there.
Yeah, we'll just take back and have a look at that replay.
There was a bit of aggravation from Stenberg after the fact, actually, when Sean Evans was trying to re-enter the track. Stenberg's absolutely nailed him, so yeah, I know the organisers don't look too keen on that sort of thing.
Well, we've just got a car around on the inside of turn 1 as well, and so everything back replay.
Yeah, Sean Thompson with a lot of damage to the right hand side and the front of his car.
So we've had Rogers get past in forward, pulled a little bit of a gap already. So at the moment we've got Rogers in first, Ian Ford in second, Michael Cracknell in third, Jared Philsell in fourth, his teammate Kugamia in fifth, Michael Hammond in sixth.
Oh, sorry to cut you off there, Fonny. Michael Yeo and Jared Tapsell had a massive coming together at the end of Camel Straight. Managed to keep going. Tapsell's car looks like an absolute wreck at the moment.
We'll just jump back there and have a quick look at that as well.
Well, we've been looking at these replays of incidents. Philsell's actually dropped a spot to Cracknell at some stage. Josh Rogers is absolutely streaking ahead.
And we see it again, Rogers has the pace early on in this race. It is a long race, anything can happen, but these boys, Ian Ford, Cracknell and Phil, they're certainly not going to want to battle too much, otherwise they'll give Rogers the chance of getting away. Phil Sell's all over the back of Cracknell, so you can expect him to make a move soon.
Yeah, Crackers took a very defensive line. He's taken another defensive line. I'm not sure that's... I wouldn't be doing that at this stage, lap 3 of a 25 lap that's racing Spa, but you're going to definitely slow yourself down taking a defensive line this early in the race.
Yes, and we just focused on Jason Benson and his teammate Michael Hammond in front. This car's looking great on track. Joshua Burton sitting back there in 11th in the GTL Mega Racing. Simon Black, in a respectable 14th position at the moment.
They're just in front of Black, they're too wide, Peter Sattler and Jake Blackall. Sattler slots in behind Blackall.
Just keep an eye on the sleeve group, and it looks like Jared Fulsell has passed Mick Cracknell and Ian Ford there. He's now in front of them, and it'll be interesting to see if he can keep this momentum and catch Rogers.
Yeah, well, certainly if anyone's going to do it, Fulsell can do it. He gets a bit between his teeth, and he's pretty unstoppable, this young lad. He's already starting to pull a little bit of a gap, so...
Not far behind Ford and Cracknell is Kane Kugamir, and with them battling, he will be up behind them in no time.
Yeah, Kane Kugamir getting faster every week.
Yeah, he's learning a lot from Jared week in, week out. So is Mitchell Sialak. And Jared actually said he wasn't going to do much racing until Premier Series, but he's decided to have a go at the OSR race tonight, and he's going to have a full tilt at the official series too, I think. So, yeah, you can't keep him away from it.
Yes, well, it's an addictive thing with sim racing. I got into it 4 years ago, and well, I've never looked back. The amount of money I've spent on building my own simulator could have nearly put a mortgage on a house, I reckon. But we do it because we love it. So, as we are on lap 4, we've got Joshua Rogers with a 2.3 second gap back to Jared Fulsell. And followed closely behind by Ian Ford and Michael Cracknell in 4th. Kane Kugamir in 5th. Michael Hammond in 6th. Ryan O'Sullivan in 7th. Jason Bent in 8th. Paul Burrell, who went very wide and off the track there, in 9th. And Brenton Hobson rounding out your top 10.
Shout out to Brenton Hobson, he's always in around the top 10. He's pretty good. He won the development series last season, and he's always battling around the top 10 in this series, so he's getting better and better as the weeks go by.
Yeah, he certainly is, Brooksy, and these Synergy Sim racing cars, I think they look excellent on track. I love the colour scheme, the Eaton sponsorship on the side really works well for them, so good to see their team being consistent and getting up there. The TTL cars still seem to be the ones to beat at this stage. So, and we've got Jake Blackall sitting in 12th for Evolution Racing Australia. Good to see these boys have been keeping it clean. There hasn't been too much contact. All sort of shuffled into single file pretty quickly. lose Gallen in 18th position. He was in 16th, had a bit of a moment there and he lost 2 positions. Not running with a team as a privateer.
I don't think that will last long though. He's doing really well here, and maybe a team might take advantage of this and give him a drive and maybe get him into the Premier Series.
Yeah, well, there's always teams on the lookout for drivers. As I was saying earlier, the iRacing community is very close. Great bunch of guys, so just jump on there, start racing, and before you know it, you'll be in the team and potentially win races.
There's a great battle going on behind Lewis on Nick Hustler and Tom O'Connor, Jeff Gilchie and Simon Tennant. They're having a great battle, all battling for around the top 20 position.
Just focused on there now, and it was very close. Nearly some contact with these boys.
Jeff's doing pretty well here. Yesterday he won the Dev Series race, so he's already had a bit of success here. Be interesting to see how well he can come here after pit stops, because he usually brings out a pretty surprising strategy sometimes.
Yes, and V8 racing is certainly all about strategy. You pit just 1 lap too late and your race can be won or lost.
Up the front, guys, Jared Bilso over the space of a lap has brought the gap down 1.5 seconds to Josh Rogers. He's definitely catching. And it looks to me like Ian Ford and Mick Cracknell are sort of going with Phil Sell here. There's only about a second between each of them, and that gap's staying steady.
Yeah, well, Phil Sell certainly has caught Rogers. Only a lap ago it was 2.4, so definitely Rogers hasn't got away in this race. Phil Sell will battle him right to the end. Both very clean drivers, great drivers, so we look forward to seeing this battle shape up. So we complete 5 laps now, and Rogers is in the lead with Phil Sell slowly catching him. Ian Ford sitting in the back there in 3rd position. And Michael Cracknell in 4th. Gugamir's dropped off a little bit from these guys, but keeping it clean, so...
Oh, Fonty, can I get you to look back at 26th position, mate? Joshua Shortell, Paul Preston, there's heaps of them in here. Christian Hinton, Todd Valentine, they're having a terrific battle. Who said you got a race for the win? You can have just as much fun racing for position 27 here.
They're everywhere, mate. They're everywhere. We've got a car with no boot lid. Paul Preston's in the mix there, sitting in 25th in this bright green car. Car off into the wall. Oh no, big moment there. Oh, who was that? That was...
It's the fence there,
yeah.
The Plus Fitness.
Oh, that sucks for Josh there. He's doing so well, but he did well there to keep it off the track.
Absolutely gutted about that. He was driving really well. We'll just go back and take a look at that replay. Paul Preston kind of moves over on him there. Didn't give him much racing room, so yeah, a little bit disappointing there. He'll be really gutted about losing that.
Paul Preston just apologised over chat, so...
Yeah, well, sometimes these things do happen in the world of motorsport.
Yeah, I didn't look that intentional. I think he just moved over and didn't realise how close he actually was to him, and just enough to upset the car and push it up into the wall there.
Yeah, and it's certainly something that happens quite easily, especially if you don't have a 3-screen setup. It's not hard to judge where your car is and where another car is, so yeah, disappointing for those boys.
The battles are still going on. Tim Ballinger's got a trainer cars behind Henry King, Grant Hines and Robbie Tomei. They're really hassling the back of Tim Ballinger at the moment.
Just a shout out to Tim, I think this is his first V8 race in quite a long time, so he's doing pretty good.
You nearly put the commentator's curse on him. He got massively sideways.
You did, mate. They nearly got taken. There's a Henry King slips past him. This is certainly a great battle. We've got about 10 cars in the mix here, which is great to see. Oh,
Henry
cars
King
popping
got
up
right
everywhere,
out of
bouncing
that.
over curbs.
That was a massive dive there from Grant Hines, and he's managed to pull it off. I've got to say, Tim Ballinger's car is probably one of the best looking cars out there on the circuit. Really like the paint scheme they got on that car.
Yeah, Ken Walker paints the cars for TD Racing. He does a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, nice car scheme, good colour choice. And it's obviously one of the cool things about iRacing is we use a program called Trading Paints. And you can download any template and make your own designs, put anything on it. And there's certainly some great ones out there. If we look back up the front now in this gap from Rogers to Philsell's at 0.9 of a second. So Philsell slowly pulling him in. 7 laps so far of 25. So Rogers doing very well. Keep Philsell behind him. Just shows Rogers has certainly found some pace in recent months. Running with a very respectable team.
He's doing very well, mid-24s on the 7th laps, not too bad for Spa, it's a pretty good pace. And he's saying that Philsell was nearly half a second quicker last lap around. He's a bit slower this lap, so he's dropped off a bit there, Philsell. I do know that the ANZ guys have absolutely no idea how the setup's going to last over the 15 or 20 odd laps it needs to last, so that'll be one to watch out for. I think we've got a position change for the podium. Mick Cracknell has got past Ian Ford to take 3rd position.
Yes, well, we missed that move by Cracknell. He's done very well this season. Cracknell, he's sitting in the championship, second in the championship points, and not too far behind Joshua Rogers. So
I think Ian Ford must have had a moment that lap as he was 1.7 seconds slower than Michael Cracknell. And Kane Kugamir just gained a bunch of time on him as he was also 1.7 seconds faster than Ford. Although the battle's on at the front, Philsell's right behind Rogers at the moment.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on him. This is, see how Josh handles a bit of pressure. He won't be used to it after running away with the last few victories up front. As Fizz has a bit of a moment.
Yeah, at the end of the Kemmel Straight on this lap, Philsell showed the nose. He's just testing the waters there with Rogers.
Although Philsell just ran right through that last corner there, so he's got to watch those off tracks as they accumulate, and at 35 you get disqualified from the race.
just looking back here at these cars, and Progression Racing Australia car of Paul Preston, certainly a very attractive car, I think. it's very close back here for 33rd, 34th and 35th of Matt Stratford, Nick Parker and Marley Ladyshoff.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ian Ford's in the pits.
So, Ford's in the pits.
Yeah, so that'd be the first scheduled pit stop, I think, of the race. Yeah, he's looking at that, Milhal and not sure who that was. Next to him, Daniel Trim, side by side. Still side by side. Coming around onto the pit straight. Still side by side. Good racing by these guys. Haven't exchanged paint yet. Daniel Trim's gone to have the run into turn 1. But Milhal holds a lot of speed around the outside. Now it's going to be a drag race down to Radion.
And Parker might get Mahal here.
Yeah, it was very close. Very hard to go too wide up through a rouge. Now Nick Parker sacrificing that speed has opened himself up to Matty Stratford.
Surprising to see Matty Stratford down that far. He must have either pitted or had a altercation in the race somewhere.
Well, after Ian Ford's pit stop, he's 16.5 seconds he was stationary for, so we'll keep an eye on the other guys' times and see where some gains and losses can be made in pit lane. At the front, Phil Sell's just shadowing Rogers still. Hasn't made a move yet. Closes right up under brakes.
Yeah, so as we look at the top 10 and still have Rogers out in front, 0.4 of a second back to Jared Philsell, Michael Cracknell. Few car lengths back from them, sitting in third with Cougar Mayer in fourth, Michael Hammond in fifth, Ryan O'Sullivan in sixth, Jason Bentz right behind him in seventh, Paul Gorell in eighth, Joshua Burden in ninth, and Peter Sattler running at the top 10. So, a respectable race so far from Oceanic Sim Racing very own Simon Black. Does a lot for the iRacing community, and if it wasn't for him, we certainly wouldn't have these well-run events that we do today. And it's also good to see him out there having a skid.
Yeah, unfortunately for Simon, he does take on a huge workload. His Wednesday night V8s, Tuesday night development series, Thursday F1 series, of course Premier Series, which is a huge workload, that series alone, so he doesn't get the chance to race too often.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much a full-time job for him. Yeah, puts a lot of effort in, and yeah, well, like I was saying, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a lot of these events that we do today, so we thank Simon for that.
Jake Blackhall has pitted. He's one of the other guys that was up around the top 10. He only stationary for 8 seconds, half the time that Ian Ford was stationary, so either Ian Ford's taken on way too much fuel, or Jake Blackhall probably hasn't taken on enough fuel, but both of those guys, I believe, come from the same team, so you'd think they would have had their fuel sorted out.
Yeah, it's interesting because we had that short pit stop last week. I think it was Ian Ford who we thought was going to run out of fuel nearly in there, but and his time was a fair bit quicker than a lot of the other runners, but he reckoned he had heaps of fuel left. So yeah, it just all depends
Yeah, so
on
he's
the
done
driver.
a 16.3 second stop. So it'll be interesting to see how these other boys go. He pitted early last week, and last week and the round before. And the round before he made a big gain before he had contact with Sam Sutton to pretty much end his race.
Yeah, well, I did keep an eye on Ford when he come out of pits, and he come out in a lot of traffic, so and he's still making his way through some of that traffic.
So that certainly won't help his cause of trying to get in front. As we look at the gains so far for this race, Simon Black moved up 10 spots, started 20th, he's sitting in 10th, so well done to him. Matt Jones behind Simon Black has moved up 13 spots. Ryan O'Sullivan sitting in 6th has moved up from 12th. And Ian Ford, well, showing he's moved back 12 positions, but it's only a temporary thing as he's making a move up the inside.
There's some guys back in the field that have made some big gains there. Fonty Grant Hines up 21 spots. Terrific effort. Sitting in 25th, I think, at the moment. And he qualified 46, so yeah, that's a great effort. Oh, as actually, speak of him, he's in the walls right now as he just gets pushed out sideways. 4 or 5 cars got past him then. I think it was Matty Stratford and Peter Saller that just elbows out and pushed Grant a little sideways.
Yeah, and this back, this battle back in 28th, 29th, 30th is still what it was early on in the race. His ground looks to be holding up these guys. He must have a little bit of damage.
I'll just interrupt you. Phil Sell's in the pits, and so is Michael Cracknell.
Okay, well they're using the team strategy there to pit at the same time. You probably noticed when Ford pitted, we thought it was a good idea to there. We're now at the halfway stage of the race, so yep, they've worn their tyres down halfway and they're going to have a new set of bags to run up the rest of the race.
Jones and Black follow.
Yeah, it's 16 seconds for Philsell and 15.5 for Cracknell, so a little gain there for Cracknell. Philsell comes out well ahead of both Ford and Crackers, but Cracknell's right behind Ford, so it's not a huge advantage for Ford.
Yeah, just let the viewers know who might have watched the Enduro event, they're using just the GP pits tonight. They don't have to traverse that stupidly extra long lane all the way down to up through the Camel straight up Radium and Eau Rouge where it normally comes out for the endurance races, so a lot quicker stops and quicker pit entry and exit tonight.
I think we might see our race leader in this lap. He would know that Philsell's gone to pit lane. He will not want to get past with an undercut, especially for the lead. So I think we'll see Rogers in and he'll try and short field this to make sure he gets out in front of Philsell. Being such a long lap, it is quite easy to actually save a little bit of fuel and not lose too much time around this track. Plenty of heavy braking zones. You can roll out the throttle quite easily and not lose too much time.
Yep, and you've picked it, mate. He's straight into the pits.
So Rogers in the pits.
Yeah, I found that if you leave it too long, you lose a lot of time in the pits in last night's Dev Series, so...
Kugmere in the pits as well.
Michael Hammond and Ryan O'Sullivan follow as well.
Close eye on this. Rogers has just gone stationary. Philsell's just coming around the last lap. He's on across the start finish line now.
He's going to get him easy.
Yeah, this is going to be an easy gain. 16.2 seconds, so it wasn't a long stop for Rogers, but as you can see there, Phil Sells just blown on past.
And that would be the advantage of having good tyres compared to the old tyres that Rogers was running on for that one lap.
Yeah, Rogers will just have to be careful here for half a lap or so till his tyres get back up to temp. You won't want to push it too much. Although in that short fuel time, you wouldn't even really get tyres on, really. Possibly just rears.
Guys yet to pit in front of these guys. Jason Bentz still running around. Sure, the other guys, if there's
I think Philso will get Jason this lap. Probably, he's got a lot of speed on him.
Yeah, I was just having a look. There's quite a big gap then to William Bailey. So there's not, except for Bentz, there's no traffic for Phil Searle and Rogers.
And surprisingly, Ian Ford's strategy worked out and he's jumped Michael Cracknell in the pits. So he's gained a spot there overall.
Yeah, Phil's just getting held up here a little bit by Jason Bentz, but he's got all right to do so. He was racing for position there since they pitted, so as Ian Ford is under a fair bit of pressure from Michael Cracknell as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, Brooksy.
Yeah, I was going to say it can be frustrating for obviously Phil Searle and Rogers being held up by Bentz hasn't pitted, but they've got to keep in mind Bentz is probably racing for position and he's in the top 10 on corrected time, so he's obviously got his own race going on.
Yeah, we've seen how important the strategy is with pit times, so he wouldn't want to be just pulling over and letting those two pass and lose a few seconds here and there.
Bentz now enters pit lane. Of course, he was racing his teammate of Mick Hammond. I think, was it Ryan O'Sullivan, Paul Gorrell were in the mix with those guys as well, battling towards the back end of the top 10.
Yeah, so we're 14 laps through a 25 lap race. Phil Searle is in the lead. And Rogers is not letting him get away though. He's right on his back bumper now.
Yeah, we saw the extreme pace that Rogers had at the start, able to open up a couple of second gap on the rest of the field on the first couple of laps. So I think he's got a very good car in the initial part of the stint. It may suggest to me, tyre pressures may be a little higher than Phil Searle's because he seems to be on the pace very quickly, Rogers, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Driving excellent this season. We've seen him take out 3 of our races. He's driving hard. He's thrown it off the track. He's running wide. So certainly putting a lot of pressure on Phil Searle. Phil Searle is certainly an amazing driver, and I'm sure this car filling his mirrors, he won't be too worried about it, but yeah, I expect to see a move being made soon. These boys will race right to the end, so great racing right at the front here.
Just another thing's happened this lap. Ian Ford's got...
Sorry to butt in there. Rogers has to... No, he pulls out of it. I definitely would have had a go at Phil Searle then. He was right under his wing. Sorry, mate, keep going.
Oh yeah, all good. Mick Cracknell's gotten by Ian Ford there, and he's gotten quite a big gap over him just this lap, so Ian Ford must be suffering with those older tyres, having pitted 4 or 5 laps earlier than the other guys.
Yeah, I actually thought that when Ford pitted, I thought that, because I think he turned out he would have had to do about 18 laps on these tyres, and I'm thinking that's going to be a long way at Spa to do, but yes, he seems to be struggling there to get the power down out of turn one. So,
and we're just running on board with Rogers, and he's got a great run on the outside. He's going to get past Felsau here.
Oh, well, I want to come together then from my camera angle. And that's a change for the lead.
That
Rogers
is a
back into
change.
position
Oh,
one.
Oh, but he's run wide.
Oh, he's run wide. Felsau's back in front. Oh, great little battle here. God, it's heating up. Oh, there's a bit of a gap formed now. So can Rogers pull it back?
And Rogers would overheat his tyres, but Philzel's done the same thing. That's the danger with this new tyre model on the track. As soon as you get some heat into those tyres with a bit of a lock-up or spin the wheels, the next corner you're skating all over the place.
Yeah, and we were just riding on board with Rogers and Gyrocam as he had that great run over the hill.
I think that might have been Rogers' one and only chances this race. I don't think Gerard Fulsell makes too many mistakes, being the Premier Series winner, and yeah, just overcooked it a bit going into the corner.
Yeah, he certainly did, mate. So we've got, at this stage, we've got Jared Fulsell out in front.
Oh, spun car there. They get past Jonathan Hancock. He was in a very precarious position. Still is, facing the wrong way. Looking for a chance to flick spin it, but there's going to be a whole heap of cars coming in his way real soon. Manages to get going the right way. He's down in position 51, so not a great night there for Hancock.
Well, there's also a bit of aggravation on the team chat there, and looks like there's been a bit of a confrontation between Forzan and Christian. So
I'll tell you what, I think Josh has got to be careful here up front. He's really squirrely on the brakes in that car, so I think he might just need to back off here a little bit and just let the tyres cover and have another go at him in a couple of laps time. Otherwise, Philzel's just going to run away with it.
just watching Rogers' laps, and he seems to be getting a lot of off tracks, just pushing the car quite hard. He's got to keep an eye on that. They add up pretty quickly here.
Yeah, it's certainly a track that you can easily drop a wheel off.
Currently, Rogers sitting at 28 incidences for this, 29 incidences now. Philsell at 22 incidences. And they've got a fair few more than the other guys. A lot of the other guys are sitting around 15 incidents for the race, which is about right, about 15, 16 laps. So you usually get one a lap here. Talking about who's keeping it nice and clean, Michael Talajenki, I think it is. He's only got one incident so far for this race, so doing very well to keep it nice and clean.
Yeah, it's a fair effort around here. Very easy to run wide around some of the faster corners, as Josh was pointing out before.
We've got Kane Kugameo. He's approaching Ian Ford at a rapid rate. 2 laps ago, he was 2 seconds quicker. It's the lap that Ford had some dramas, but last lap around he was a good half a second quicker. And he's got the gap down to 0.6 of a second now.
Because that looks like Crackman's slowing as well. He might have burned out some tyres like along with him.
Yeah, so we've certainly not seen this battle over yet. Can we see Kugamea race hard and get on the podium? He'd be absolutely stoked with that. But we do have 9 9 laps to go. Anything can happen in these 9 laps. Can't take these boys' talent away from them. I'll tell you, they're top effort stuff.
Yeah, you'd remember Fonty back what it took to get to this sort of stage. I certainly don't have the dedication to do it anymore.
No, well, my sort of dedication in sim racing has gone into helping out the community rather than spending my time behind the wheel these days. But yes, no, certainly when I first started, the amount of hours I'd put in on a weekly basis, quite sort of scary really. Yeah, to race in the Premier Series with these top guys and finish well with them is certainly a respectable effort. My best finish in the Premier Series, which used to be a strength of field race, was 5th. That was in the days when likes of Van Gisbergen and Rodia, Madison Down, all of them were running, but yes, this competition has certainly not gone down. Just got new people into the game, which is great to see. So Phil Sell has got a 1.5 second gap back to Rogers. I think Rogers cooked his tyres a little bit. Still going to have 9 laps to go, so if Rogers does concentrate hard, I'm sure he can catch Phil Sell. So, if we look at the top 10, we've got Phil Sell in front, with Rogers in second, Michael Cracknell in third, with Ian Ford in fourth, Cougar in fifth, Ryan O'Sullivan in sixth, Michael Hammond in seventh, Jake Blackpool in eighth, Paul Burrell in ninth, and Joshua Burden rounding at the top 10.
Last lap around, our 2 leaders are 23.8, so these guys are absolutely on it, not giving an inch.
Nabby, he's up there on the championship points. He certainly hasn't won races this season, but he's been consistently there. He's sitting in 24th position in the Henley Commodore. Kurt Stenberg circulating around in 23rd position. Car is slightly damaged, possibly by the look of it. He'll be gutted with what happened early on in the race.
Yeah, there's a good little battle here, and we're getting to the top 10 between Jason Bentz and Joshua Burden. Just coming around through Stavelot. And yeah, really close, as he has a big moment.
Big moment for Burden. That was awesome. We're going to go back and watch that on an in-car footage. big moment there. Probably need to change his undies after that one.
Yeah, and possibly a rear set of tyres as well.
Battle with there, Joshua Bird and Jason Bentz for 10th and 11th is on for young and old. There's two cars out there, very straight.
Yeah, it seems like we got a lot of that tonight. Groups of 2 and 3 cars, just the draft coming into a bit of play as well. Push up to the second to a Rouge and Radiant.
Oh, Burden will get a slowdown for his run over the hill. He definitely had a big cut there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Oh, you get some nice and close there. You might stick your nose in down here, do the over under. Oh no, backed out of it.
These GT Omega cars look awesome, I reckon. GT Omega, big supporters of our Premier Series, which is hosted by the V8 Online channel, in which we here at RRTV are big supporters of V8 Online. We've put a lot of effort in over the years of V8 sim racing and produce a great live stream.
Yeah, definitely, and as we've heard in the last few weeks, they've got some big surprises for everyone this year, and as you say, very professional broadcasting, and also a great series to run in with myself and a few others will be running in all of those Premier Series events, so look out for us out on the track instead of up in the box to get our suits back on.
Yeah, well, I was also thinking about having a crack at Premier Series 1. There we go. Finished 9th in the last round of the Endurance Series last year, myself and Richard Elwood. Richard not out there tonight. But yes, no, we are definitely looking forward to Premier Series.
I think myself and Will Dodd, driving for Multi 21 last year, managed a couple of top 10s in the Enduros, and managed to get a package deal with Will into All-Star Motorsports, and so the pairing can stay together, and we'll be running together again in this year's Premier Series as well.
Well, thanks for the update on what's going on there, Luke. Always lots of movement in teams. Can never really keep up with who's going where.
This is back up front. Ian Ford's had a huge moment there, just out of Paul Prairie. Excuse me, nice and sideways, and it's like allowed Kane to catch back up slightly, but yeah, big moment.
Kane with the fresher. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right.
I was just going to say, Kane with the fresher tyres, looking like he would have a better chance of getting by Ian Ford now.
Oh, sideways moment there for Ford as they come down the front straight. Wigamere's going to look to go to the inside. No. Letting Cracknell get away from them here. As we look back at the front, and Phil Sell doing an excellent job.
Yeah, that gap not changing, but it's not getting any smaller, so just maintaining the lap speed that he needs, and as long as I've got enough fuel, it could stay that same way with only few laps remaining. Last time round at Jarfields I had a 24-1 and Rogers 2/10 slower at 24-3, so yeah, just that gap is just staying equal for now, but he's still got him in his sight, so we'll see if he tries to have a big push with
Just looking at this battle back here for 19th and 20th. Blues Gallen and Dom O'Connor.
Yeah, that battle's been going on all race, I'm pretty sure. It's another one of those two-car battles where they just can't seem to separate each other with the car in front there. Lewis's car looking a bit worse there.
And this battle with Jason Bentz and Joshua Burden is still going on. They seem to battle every round, these two. They're just glued together, hand in hand, and just good to see that they're keeping it clean.
Yeah, both cars, as you mentioned before, quite well presented, and team bosses will be happy that the cars don't even look like they have a scratch on them at the moment. And definitely Jason there going to be looking to push for that top 10. It's always a rewarding thing, especially in the top splits, to aim for that top 10 position. Good amount of points on offer too.
Cougar get past Ford. It's going to be hard for him to catch Cracknell at this point. He's 4 seconds up the road, sitting in third. I expect to see that we'll see Cracknell finish there in third, but there is still 4 laps to go, so Cougar can do it as Ford chucks it up the inside. Cougar is going to outbrake him and hold the 4th position.
Yeah, it looks like Cougar got in around turn 12, round 2, on around the outside of all places. And he had a few connection issues there as well. Managed to hold it for that whole lap.
Something's happened to Kurt Stenberg. He's dropped back, he's in 31st position.
Yeah, just these two battling there has allowed Cracknell to get quite a fair bit of gap on these Kane and Ian. So podium for him seems to be secure at the moment.
Just looking back in the field, and falls on El Nabi has had to come back into the pit, so looks like he miscalculated how much fuel needs to be put in the car and was going to run out.
Yes. So we actually haven't got all the pit road information. Some of it actually hasn't shown up, so...
Yeah, my timing's been all over the place tonight as well. It was good for quali, and
yeah,
okay,
that was
about
mine
it.
was too, so that's consistent thing across the board.
Yeah, up until I think Ian did his pit stop, it showed that, and then the live timing went a bit haywire. So anyone else out there following our live timing link, could be a glitch in the system. So don't go and throw your sim rig out the window. Just bear with us.
front. 3 laps to go. And Phil Sellers getting it done at the stage in the race. Still that 1.5 second gap back to Rogers. And a few seconds down the road. Back to Cracknell.
Yeah, 23.99 for Cell, and Jeff has done a 24.6, so significantly slower that last lap for Josh. But again, the gap hasn't really changed, and they're just coming up to a few lap cars now, but she's opposed to that.
Yes, and as we look at the gains, we've got obviously Jared Filsell, who started on 5th position. He's out in the lead at the moment. Next best back is Ryan O'Sullivan. Good effort by him, starting in 12th, moving up to 6th. And then we've got Joshua Burden in 10th, he started in 15th. Matt Jones, excellent drive by him, he's moved up 11 positions from 24th. Simon Black moved up 5 spots. The biggest gain for the night is Brody Maris. He's moved up 20 spots from his original starting position. So
Yeah, Brody Morris actually started from pit lane, Ponty. Missed qualifying, so started from pit lane, and
so he started dead last and he's moved up to 35th, so good effort by him. Raymond Steer, 17 positions. Henry King, also 17. Robbie Thomas, 14 with Paul Preston, moving up 10. Kevin Armstrong, Graham Bunyan have both moved up 13 positions. So as we got
plenty of guys that have lost a lot of positions at the back have dropped out of the race, but Kurt Stenberg still travelling around in 29, down 19 positions after his incident at the start, and I think the incident was with El Nabi. No, sorry, it was Sean Evans, but El Nabi's down 16 positions as well.
Yeah, some big names have certainly been taken out, ended the race badly, with Matt Stratford disconnected, and so is Sean Evans disconnected. They've lost nearly 30 spots.
I didn't mention it, Stenberg had a massive amount of damage after lap 1, and he was one of the last guys to pit as well, so he's carried that damage for quite a long time in this race.
Just looking back up to the front, and Josh Rogers has taken a huge amount of time out of fuel cell.
He has.
Looks like some lap traffic might have got involved there, but it's quite a small gap.
It is. It's down to 0.6 of a second. We're on our last lap, so anything could happen.
Yeah, Rogers, you see him up through the top of the Rouge, they're pushing very hard. Last lap around, Phil saw 24.8 and Rogers 24.2. Yeah. Actually, it's Rogers' fastest clean lap of the race. So
He's
definitely pushing.
hard on an old set of rubber.
Down to 0.3 of a second now.
Oh, he's getting real racy here.
You see Belsol trying to put the power down. There's nothing left in those tyres on the rear. He's spinning the wheels up on the exit of every corner nearly.
Yeah, well, we had Rogers in that corner back there, just slightly stepped the rear out.
Unfortunately, I think Rogers might have left his run just a little bit too late there, and I think Fuel Cell's got this one with very few laps left.
He might be able to tuck up under the wing for this section of the corners. If he can get a good run down through Francorchamps, you never know that last braking zone. Last lap of the race, he's got to have a massive dive, doesn't he?
Yeah, wow. Oh, I think Rogers is done. He's slightly stepped it out. He would have had to get off the gas there.
Be interesting if one of these guys waits one of their off tracks just to get a really good run through Francorchamps.
I can confirm Rogers will be getting a points deduction for this race with 44 incidences, so he'll be incurring a points penalty.
He's gone up the inside. Is he going to do it? No, he's not.
No.
Wow, that was certainly a bit of an ambitious move there. But he's finished, so we have Jared Philsell with AM from ANZ Motorsports taking out the race win with Joshua Rogers in second. Michael Cracknell just coming over the line in third. Well done to him. Kane Kugamia from ANZ is finished fourth. And Ian Ford's not too sure what happened to him, but he's dropped well off the back of Kugamia. He's finished in fifth. Brian O'Sullivan just coming through the last few turns as he runs very wide. Gets his braking markers and he will finish in sixth. And Michael Hammond will come across the line in seventh position. Jake Blackwell in eighth. And Paul Burrell in a respectable ninth position. And this battle of Joshua Burden and Jason Bentz has continued to shine through the race. Joshua Burden finishing 10th, Jason Bentz finishing 11th. Peter Sattler and Brenton Hobson racing down to the line now. Peter's going to finish in 12th and Brenton's going to finish 13th. Our very own Simon Black will finish in 14th. Nick Helsler will finish in 15th, so well done to these boys.
Yeah, definitely a great drive tonight by it all, and pretty clean racing right around. And it's got Kurt Stenberg here after his earlier incident, battling with Henry Kin. Must have just got that move done for 27th and 26th, 27th. Coming into the final chicane now. But yeah, everyone's done really well tonight. And, not too many bad incidents that we've seen, and yeah, driving standards look pretty good.
And that's a great fight back on Stenberg, finishing 26 after a huge amount of damage to the car in the opening lap. So able to stay on the lead lap, which 28 of the cars managed to do.
There's Darren McKenzie, the last of our cars to cross the line. So good effort by everyone tonight, I think. Great to see everyone out there having a good crack at it and keeping it reasonably clean. Saw a few incidents there, which always happens in the Oceanic Sim Racing V8 Supercar Series. Wouldn't be V8 Supercars racing if there were no incidents. But no, everyone did well tonight. What did you take of the race tonight, boys?
I think it was an outstanding race. It gave the action that we were expecting. Spa, like I said, at the start of the race, it always does. There was good battles all the way to the line. So, yeah, always enjoy watching the V8s run around here.
Yeah, well, we should have some of these boys come up and have a chat with us in the commentary box. So next week we go to the most suiting track for the V8 Supercar, probably my most favourite track in the world, and many other fellow iRacers and Australians' favourite track, and that is the famous Bathurst race circuit, which I'm sure will bring us plenty of action.
Yeah, definitely always a good track, and really technical, as everyone knows, up through the top of the mountain there. And yeah, I can't wait to do my first broadcast from Bathurst, only being a couple of hours away from where I live. I've driven around there a few times in a road car, and yeah, definitely look forward to it. Also been up there for the V8s a few times, so yes, can't wait for next week, and also to run it in the Dev Series again.
The Dev Series is a great series if you want to get involved in V8 Supercar racing. The Dev Series is the stepping stone to this event. Both Luke and Josh are very competitive in the development series.
Yeah, and the boys are pretty relaxed all the way through the field as well, so definitely good for those who haven't driven the V8 much and need to get in and do a bit of racing if their license isn't high enough to run official V8s and you're worried about iRating. It's Simon and the boys that run that series aren't too fast if you're slow, as long as you're half decent racer, as in racecraft way, and don't get too many incidents or anything like that.
Yeah, well, we've had some of the boys start to come up and have a chat with us in the commentary box here. I'll start from third. Michael Cracknell, Fonty here, mate. Well done on your position overall, which was third place. How were you happy with your race?
Hey guys, how you going? Yeah, sort of happy with it. Like third's okay. Just the temperature. Didn't know what tyre pressures to use, and yeah, I struggled for grip to sort of keep up with Josh and Jared. But overall, it was pretty good.
Yeah, he slightly dropped off the back there. He ran a very clean and consistent race. Certainly one of the harder tracks which we visit in a very long circuit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you played it out well with your pit stop, mate, and yeah, you got to be happy with third. These both Rogers and Phil Sell are very quick, mate. So well done on your third place.
Cheers. Yeah, Josh is going to take a fair bit of beating this season. I've kind of discovered over the last couple of weeks, but if I can just sort of keep doing what I'm doing, then hopefully I'll be in the hunt at the end. But he's not making any mistakes at the moment, so I just got to keep working at it.
Yeah, well, he certainly has the pace to be keeping up with Phil Sell like he has been. It's a good effort, so good to see his team running well. How did your car run tonight anyway?
Yeah, it ran pretty good, but just struggled for grip after about sort of 5 laps. Yeah, it was just sort of understeering, and I used up all my bars to get it to steer, and I just had nothing left in it. So yeah, it was just concentrate on making apexes and not driving it in too hard and try and hold that position.
Yeah, that's good, mate. Well done on that. Next week we go to the very famous Bathurst circuit, which are you looking forward to that?
Definitely. I mean, it's just about everybody's favourite circuit, so yeah, there's definitely no room for error there either. So it'll be an interesting race, I think.
Yes, it certainly will be. Well, thanks for coming up and having a chat with us, mate. And we look forward to speaking with you again next week. So well done on your third place. Is there any questions from these other boys?
No, I'm pretty right, mate. But yeah, good drive tonight, Crackers, and congrats on the podium.
Yeah, cheers, Luke. Just got to try and keep it up, I guess.
That's it. nice and consistent, always a good way to be.
Definitely. Nah, thanks, guys.
No worries. Thank you, mate. Joshua Rogers, well done on your second place, mate. Didn't quite get it all your way tonight. Couldn't make it 4 in a row, but you guys raced hard to the end there. You certainly gave it your best effort to get past Jared, throwing it up the inside right on the last corner there. But well done on your second place finish. That certainly extends your championship points lead. How did the race go?
Oh yeah, thanks guys. Definitely started out a lot better than I expected it to. It's a pretty decent start. Ended up, I think, in the lead by the end of the first lap. But yeah, well, I could just see that ANZ Commodore getting a bit bigger in my mirrors every lap, and I figured as soon as I saw him dive in the pits, I knew he was going to jump me. So from that point on, I kind of just had to put as minimal fuel in as I could and try and hunt him down. Which I was a bit thankful that he made a couple mistakes from where I was sitting, it looked like, on the last couple of laps, which let me close in. But yeah, it wasn't quite close enough to make the move. Thought I'd give it a crack in the last corner. There was nothing to lose. So, but yeah, definitely happy with second place, and hope you guys enjoyed that too.
Oh yeah, it was certainly a great race, mate, and I was riding on board with you when you came over the hill there and had the run on Jared. Went on the outside and then slightly overcooked it in the braking zone, and he got past you. But no, that was a great race. It was good to see you boys battling it out. We didn't really know who was going to win it there. Jared certainly always has some good pace, so congratulations to you on your efforts with what you've been putting in and managing to keep up with Jared and stuff, mate. So yeah, well done from me. Any questions from the boys?
Nah, mate, just well done, Josh, talking to your mentor, so to speak, Hammer there in the chat. I think you're TTL's #1 driver now, mate, so well done on that.
Oh, cheers, mate. I wouldn't be too sure about that one.
Nah, well done, mate. You're showing great pace, and I'm looking forward to watching what you can do in the Premier Series this year.
Yeah, thanks, definitely. Definitely looking forward to giving Prem Series a crack. Definitely with TTL backing, it will be very exciting, hopefully, for me.
Yeah, well done, mate, and we look forward to seeing your racing efforts next week at the very famous Bathurst circuit. So until then, thanks for coming on board and giving us something to watch, mate.
Yeah, thanks guys. Good job on the broadcast once again too.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Thank you. Jared Filsell, congratulations on a first place finish. You certainly didn't have it gifted to you this race, mate. Joshua was right on your back tail. How did the race go for you, champ?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Quali didn't really go as planned. I only did about 10 laps beforehand, so I was happy to start somewhat close to the grid. But yeah, Josh did a great job. That was it was an interesting race. Definitely made it tough with the weather. It was good.
Yeah, it certainly did, mate. And how did the car run anyway? You looked to be quite well settled. Didn't look to go off too much the last few laps. You definitely lost a lot of rear grip and struggling to get the power down in the turns. But how did it go other than that?
Yeah, well, the set was good if you didn't overdrive it the first stint. It was just, yeah, it was looser than a wizard's sleeve there. But yeah, towards the end we just caught a bit of traffic, so that broke my momentum and brought Josh back to me, so all for the broadcast.
Yeah, mate, it was great, eh? And I tell you, you absolutely got it off the start line like a legend, I tell you, man. To see you come into that first turn and be challenging for the front, 3 positions off the line, yeah, you've certainly got a good thing going there, champ.
Yeah, that was a pretty rocket start. I think I went back and had a look. I was at 100. The next best person was Ian, and he was at 87. So to have a 13 km/h advantage to 100 is pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, good effort, mate. And will you be joining us next week for Bathurst?
I hope so. It's a good track. Can't miss it.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on board and racing and giving Josh a run for his money.
Cheers, mate.
Ian Ford, well done on your 5th place finish, mate.
Thanks for that, guys. It was a nice race out there. Absolutely chaos in some bits.
Yeah, it certainly looked it. It was a great race. Everyone kept it reasonably clean. How did your car go for you tonight?
Yeah, it went pretty well. Had to change the pressures in the pit stop just to try and balance the car out a little bit better. But other than that, you know, I was the first car to pretty much pit out of the front bunch, and just you know, had to take a risk because we were losing a bit of time and the car just wasn't playing nice. So I just thought I'd go for it, and you know, to come home 5th instead of absolutely burning the tyres off or something stupid is a good result.
Yeah, and you and Kane were having a great little battle there. We were focused on you guys for quite a while. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
With the old tyres that I had, I just absolutely went, okay, I'm going to like try and, you know, hold my position, and then he got by me pretty easy. So I was like, no, like I'm not letting him go away that fast sort of thing. So, yeah, just went into full attack mode and used up the last of the tyre life there. And, you know, it was a nice ding-dong battle. And even with some of the back guys, they were fighting pretty hard as we came by them and stuff. So it was good to see that all through the field. And just like to give a shout out to Ryan Sullivan and Jake Blackhall. They did pretty well for our team tonight. Came home 6th and 7th, I think it was.
Jake Blackhall in 8th. Yeah. 7th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the show that we tried putting on. There was a awesome run up the front there with Josh and Jared at the end though.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was a great race. It was on for Young and I. We really didn't know who was going to win. Josh certainly has a lot of pace this season, and everyone's noticing that. So respect to him and his team for the efforts that they're putting in. And yeah, you certainly had a great qualifying time. You put it on 1. Just couldn't quite get the car set up to run you through the race.
Yeah, the car just didn't handle nice to start off with, but you know, I absolutely smashed it out on pole on the very last lap that I did. It was pretty much a make or break lap, so I managed to get there, and you know, I had a good start and everything, so nothing to really complain about. Just need to tune the car up a bit more to take it to Josh and those boys up the front a bit more. You know, if you're not winning, you're certainly not trying hard enough, so I'll just have to try harder next time.
Yeah, well done, mate, and it's good to see you out there having a crack and back, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Bathurst.
Yeah, it's going to be good to throw the car over the top of the mountain once again.
Yeah, we all look forward to that, mate. So, till then, thank you. Joshua Burden, 10th place finish for you, mate. How did the race go for you? Good battle there between you and Jason Bentz. You guys were inseparable.
Yeah. Start was interesting. A couple of cars come together towards the end of the lap, so it's a bit of dodging cars there. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. After that happened, it was pretty much just getting into the wheel and whatnot. Then I was catching Jason for my pit stop. I pinned it a couple laps before him, came out in front of him, and was pretty much going for it from about 10 laps at least in the end.
Yeah, well, good effort, mate. We've been following you throughout this series, and you get faster and faster every week, so well done to you and your team. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, JFF, GT Omega, Graphics, yeah, cheers to them guys.
All good, mate, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Bathurst.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be great to see how we go.
Cool, thanks for coming up and having a chat with us.
It's too easy. Cheers for the broadcast.
Our very own Simon Black. 14th position for you, mate. Well done on that. You kept it clean and consistent through the race. How did it go for you?
G'day boys, how you going?
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, pretty good race for me. I had a pretty decent start. I got a couple of cut places at the start there, and then one or two a bit later on, and some good side-by-side driving. So it was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, certainly a very difficult track. Such a long track, and yeah, plenty of room for runoff, but plenty of room to pick up off tracks and whatnot. So yeah, well done to you, mate. How'd the car run for you?
Yeah, pretty good. Used a version of Premier Series setup we made for last season, but just suited to Spa a little bit, and as long as you didn't overdrive it, it was pretty good.
Yeah, excellent, mate. And we'd like to thank you for setting up the series for everyone to run. It's a amazing effort that you and your team put in. So
You're very welcome, guys. Thank you very much for doing the broadcast. I was just watching it then as you're interviewing people. Looks great. So excellent job, boys. Thank you very much for your efforts.
No worries, mate. We'll be here for a little while yet. Thanks for coming and having a chat, mate.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
Thanks, Simon.
See you, mate.
Alright, guys. Well, that pretty much rounds us up for the night. We need to choose a driver of the night. I'm going to stay out of this tonight. You guys can fight this between you.
There was a few actually, wasn't there? There's a few good drives. You'd have to go with Phil Sill on bias, of course. From 5th place to win, and the first guy to take a win from Josh Rogers this season, I think it is. So I have to go with him.
Yeah, not a bad call there, Brooksy, actually.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Brooksy on that one there. It certainly surprised us, as his pace in qualifying wasn't quite there, but as he got more practice around the track in the race, he seemed to speed up and be a bit faster than Josh when it mattered.
Your thoughts there, Luke, mate?
Yes, I'm just going to make it easy and go with the other two boys. As you say, there was so many out there tonight, but yeah, Jared, after not driving for a bit and deciding to race at the last minute, it's a very fair result to come through with a win. So.
Yeah, okay, well, Jared Philsell, you are driver of the night. Well done to you, mate. You did an excellent effort. First person to knock Joshua Rogers off his winning pedestal. And it was a great little battle for you guys. So we hope that you can join us next week at the famous Bathurst circuit. It'll be same time next week, Wednesday night. We will bring to you round 6 of the Oceanic Sim Racing V8 Supercar Series. So on behalf of myself, Clayton Brooks, Josh Nowak, Luke Emerton, this has been RRTV's presentation of the Oceanic Sim Racing V8 Supercar Series. And until next week, we will see you then.